That's actually one of my, it's a hidden gem. It's called Stay Down by The Game and Bryson Tiller. And there's a nice sample on that. So shout out to The Game for that. But we're about to get into our exclusive interview today. We have our special guest here, Chanel Dior. She might be known as the fun, happy, vivacious medical esthetician, always helping other women to look and feel good. But with the tragedy that has struck her and her family in the fall of 2019, we have no idea where she finds the strength to keep pushing. But we want to hear all about it. And hopefully it will resonate with those who can relate. This is the first time she's publicly speaking her truth. Please welcome Chanel Dior to Box Power Sound.
Hi, Kat. Hi, Box Power.
Hey.
Chanel Dior here. I'm
Thank
glad
you
to
for
be
being here.
I'm so glad. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm nervous.
I know. But I'm so happy that you agreed to come and talk to me, because I know it's been a crazy time. Not only has 2020 been crazy for everybody, but just prior to that, for you and your family, it's been really tragic, right? Mm. And I mean, if anybody was to look on your Instagram now, no one would ever know. Right? Because I think that you have shined through the darkness, and that definitely shows. But we're going to talk all about that in this exclusive interview with you. But first, let's talk about Romeo and Dior, your beautiful, cute, perfect children who I thought were going to be here today.
I know. My kids are full of energy.
Yeah.
They keep me going. Mm-hmm. They're my purpose.
Yes.
I couldn't even explain how much I need them.
Right.
And how much being a mom means so much to me. It's my number one title.
Right.
And everything I do in life is just for them.
Yeah.
And it's always been, but now even more so.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Exactly. And I love to see it. I love to hear that, because I've known you for over 10 years.
I know, yeah.
Way back before you were a mother and all that stuff. So to see how well you're doing and how good of a mother you are and how well you're raising them, it's amazing. So I want to know, because there is another, I think he had another daughter. Is that,
yes.
So you post her sometimes, but is it his daughter before you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And
so
her name is Trinity.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
Beautiful as well.
Yes.
So you have just this cute little family.
Yes, she's
raised.
amazing. She's a beautiful little girl.
Yeah.
I love her dearly, and my children love her so much.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Super cute. So shout out to Romeo and Dior, beautiful children. And it's just crazy, because what I know from what happened in the fall of 2019, you just finished celebrating Dior's baptism.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So it must have been, what, a couple days?
2 days. 2 days. It was the 27th, and he passed on the 29th. So that was big for me. When I was with littles, we were together for 7 years. For me, my regular routine was 9 to 5, church every Sunday.
Yeah.
And I worked. And I worked out, little things like that.
Yeah.
And I was a mom when I came home. And the big thing for me was, out of those 7 years, I did whatever I could to get littles to come to church. I did whatever. And you know what? He would try to come. He would have a great excuse. He did what he could. He was a great person. He had a beautiful heart. But that church thing wasn't his thing. That was my thing. I brought the kids to church. You know what I mean? And on the 27th, there was so much that happened. And I'm speaking about this because my platform, my foundation is all based on my faith. That's why I'm here.
Amen.
And that's why I'm going. And that's why I have this fire, because I know it's all the prayers and the well wishes. I know it is. Yeah. And littles came to church, and we were at that baptism, and I looked at him and he said, "The Our Father." And we looked at each other and we kind of laughed. And there was so much, to the point where his pants didn't fit because I told him to try them on 3 weeks earlier, and he didn't want to listen to me, and all these little things. And we bickered back and forth. But we got to the church, we did the baptism, and he prayed, and
it must have felt good too.
Yeah. And then 2 days later, but you know what? With me, that's heavy. That's heavy, because I am such a spiritual person, and I wouldn't say religious, but I'm spiritual. You know what I mean? And I know, and I have my own relationship with God and stuff, Yep. And he was there, and that happened, and it happened 2 days later. And it's so weird. I have to just say this. I had this heavy feeling every day prior up to the baptism that something was going to happen and he wasn't going to make it to the baptism.
Oh,
but he
wow.
made it because God made that happen.
Exactly.
He came to the baptism.
So what were those feelings?
Like,
Did
I
you
just
have nightmares.
It wasn't nightmares. I just felt like I had this intuition. And I know I do. And I dream and whatever. I'm a Cancer too. So like, I'm just very like in tune. I'm an empath. Yeah. I'm just, yeah. So I just felt weird. I didn't know what it was going to be, but I just felt like, oh my God, like it could have been like him getting pulled over and like, you know, and something random or silly. But I just really, really thought that something was going to happen. He wasn't going to make it to the baptism because the baptism was like such a big thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I remember you posting those pictures. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
And I was like, wow, this is so, like, I'm so happy for you guys. The last thing I thought was what happened. Like it really took me by shock. I'm sure everyone else who knew him and knew you guys. So what happened when this did happen? Where were you when you found out?
We were home. I was home. My children were home. We were home.
Okay. So you were inside the house and it happened right outside your house.
Yes, on the driveway. Yes.
Shit.
Yeah.
So tell us about how that felt, because I know that your mom was involved.
Yes. Yes.
She came to try to resuscitate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about that experience.
So basically, my mom was going through a lot prior to that. And when it all happened, she kind of came and told me to wake up. And the whole, like everything,
asleep.
I was sleeping with Dior.
Okay.
And the way that it just happened is just that it happened so fast. And I felt like when that happened, I was like, oh my God, my mom came and she told me that. And I quickly grabbed my cell phone and I dialed 911 and I was running down our stairs and I just kept saying, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this. When I heard, I think Ryan's been shot. You need to wake up. And I was like, okay, we're going to fix this. We're going to fix this.
Yes.
And I came outside and the situation was different than what I expected. But in the moment, I didn't know. And right now, because of that and the aftermath, my mom's dealing with a lot.
Right.
She has mental health. And I finally opened up for the first time about my mom's condition and what she's going through. My resiliency and strength didn't just come from after this tragedy. I've been dealing with it prior to, but now it's just like tenfold. It's like, it's crazy now. It's so much more because of the situation.
So your mother has PTSD?
Yes, 100%. Oh yeah, yeah, from this.
And how has that been? Because
it's
she's sick now.
Ideally, in a perfect world, if my mom was good, I think I would be 125% better. I have to take care of my 2 kids and my mom. And I'm not like saying like, you know, because I know there's so many single mothers out there and I'm just saying like, I'm not like, you know, but take it away from that. But dealing with a sick parent is like, it's hard.
So it's more tragic in the sense that you actually kind of lost 2 people at the same time. I'm so sorry to hear that. It's
the hardest. And Littles was like my mom's hype man. My mom was like going through it prior to a little bit. And he's like, yo, your mom's moving in with us and I'm going to fix her. I'm going to fix it. He was so confident and he knew. And you know what? She was on a path. Like we were going down the right direction.
Right.
And then all this happened and it's just like, it spiraled my whole world.
Of course.
And it's like, where do I go? Like right after everything happened, I couldn't even live in my home. I was under victim services and living in hotels.
Is that what happened after?
Of course. Like there was I couldn't go back. I couldn't, like it was a crime scene. My home, my safe haven turned into that.
With 2 babies.
Yeah, in a hotel, bouncing around every 4 days.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
I couldn't imagine. And then on top of it, with your mom distraught and not in a good place, you just had to, like, I can't imagine. Because most of the time in a situation like that, most of the time women, they'll turn to their mother and be able to get that strength and that like a comfort, but you had to be that mother for her in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's hard.
So like, tell us how challenging it's been to take on 100% of all parental responsibilities.
Okay. So what I have to say is, single-handedly, I would say single mothers are the #1 hustlers I've ever met in my life.
Yes.
And
let's
I'm
get
not
a round of applause
like,
for all the single
amen,
mothers.
because I'm not being ignorant to the fact, because prior to this, my aunties, my friends, I've known single mothers all my life. And I know they put in work and I know they do a lot. I get it. But being held down for 7 years,
right,
and then it just taken away from you, that whole dynamic.
Yep. Yep.
It's like, wake up.
Yeah.
There's no other option.
And get on your feet.
Yeah.
Go work.
Yeah.
And that leads me to ask you about Bella Mia.
Yes.
Because is Bella Mia your own company?
It is. Yeah. Bella Mia by Chanel.
Another round of applause.
And what I want to say is about that, Bella Mia, beautiful me. The true glow up is internal.
Right.
Everything comes from within. My mom's Italian. I'm Italian and Jamaican.
Right.
So Bella Mia is an Italian. I called my mom when she was in the hospital because she spent the entire summer in the hospital. In the mental ward, of course. It was.
Really?
Oh yeah, babe. And it's just like, so I called her and I told her, I was so excited to let her know about the news. It's not fun when you tell your parents something or tell someone something and there's no emotion.
Yeah.
But I told her, I said, I think I'm gonna call my company Beautiful Me. And she stopped and went, oh, Bella Mia. And she called me that when I was a baby. And it gave me goosebumps.
Right.
And I said, this is for you, mommy. It's for you. Bella Mia is not surface level.
Right.
It's not just what you think it is, body contouring, the beauty industry, being a medical esthetician. It is survival.
Exactly.
I will forever be in survival mode. I drive and I cry. And I tell myself, Chanel, when the kids are big, then you can break down. But then I stop and say, girl, I don't even want to swear. I can't swear. I don't know if I'm allowed to. But like.
No, you can't.
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah.
You know?
It's raw and uncut.
Like when they're big, you're going to be so far gone and so good that there's going to be no time to cry in a corner.
Exactly. Amen to that, man.
Yeah.
And what you were telling me earlier, that state of mind came from Littles.
Oh my gosh. Who am I right now?
Yeah.
Who am I? He has put so much drive in me and built me up that I can't even explain it.
Wow. Because I know Littles to be a hustler.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
Like anyone that knows him, and I'm speaking right now, anyone that knows Littles the General, Littles the legend.
Legend.
LLL, long live Littles.
Yeah.
Anyone that knows him knows that, like, he was cutthroat.
Yeah.
There was no other way.
For sure.
It is what it is, and that's what it was. You know?
Yeah.
And he always would tell me every day, Chanel, you don't need a 9 to 5. You stop. He's like, he always seen the potential in me.
Right.
But I was used to seeing my mom and dad work for 35 years, go clock in, clock out.
Yep. Work for the man.
You know?
Yeah.
And I never seen it. I was good with being an early childhood educator and getting paid my little bucks and go to school. You know what I mean? And color at work. I was good with that. You know? I was good. But then then it's like something in me, right after everything happened, I'm not going back to my 9 to 5.
That's his spirit.
I can't stop. And I won't be beat.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. So that's his spirit literally just living through you.
He's imprinted on me, like.
Because for anyone that doesn't know Littles, he was very heavy in the entertainment industry. Mm-hmm. He was an artist at one point.
Yes.
And then he was doing events, promoting, and was doing artist management. Mm-hmm. Always hustling. And he is definitely somebody who's put me on to parties. So he always saw my drive and my state of mind and my network.
Littles loved you. Yeah, he always did. He's like, yeah.
I know. And you know what's so crazy? Because I get emotional when I think about this because I felt guilty after he died because we unfollowed each other on Instagram.
Oh my gosh, so weird.
And it's so crazy how Instagram and the unfollowing thing has become a thing for human interaction and just life, period. Mm-hmm. So you kind of feel like it wasn't anything bad at all. It was more so because we used to work at House of Lancaster together. Oh. And then it was a conflict of interest. And I had unfollowed him and then he unfollowed me. And we just thought, it is what it is. It's social media, right?
Yeah.
It's not my personal like relationship with him. I've always respected and loved Lils for putting me on. Mm-hmm. He always believed in me to put me on to his parties and we always worked together, right? And I still have conversations with him in my text messages that I saved because I don't want to delete that.
Yeah.
But I had a guilty conscience, but it's like, fuck, it's just social media. Like it wasn't my, my view on him and everything. Cause I love him, but I did have that guilty conscience for a while. So I wanted to put that out there because I'm like, fuck, like.
Yeah, you don't even follow each other. And that's the way, I know.
Like, and it just makes you think, like.
But I can assure you, babe, like, Littles had a lot to say and we pillow talked. You know what I mean? So there was never anything. So,
and it was never along those lines. It was just literally a conflict of interest with where we worked, right? And just social media, strictly. It was just his posts, his things that he felt about the venue. And then I was working there. So literally that's what it was. But I just had to let that out because I've always had love for littles. But let's talk about the fact that, you know, I want to know, have you ever spoken to mediums?
Oh my gosh.
To try to communicate
I'm
with
glad that you actually
because I want him to know that it was nothing like that. Like I've always had love for him.
I'm glad you brought it up. I'm going to say this right now. I'm going to declare it.
Yeah.
I'm a Christian.
Okay.
That's something I will never do.
Right.
I will never do. As bad as I want it, and I'm so close. It's like my fingertips. And I'll tell you this right now. He was so powerful here. He's just as powerful there. Really? Wherever he is and wherever it may be.
I believe it.
I get messages. There's mediums that will link me that are from Oregon, Chicago. Your husband's trying to talk to me and he wants me to let you know this. Time and time again. He has come through when I needed it. My son learned how to ride a bike and a random person off Instagram followed me and called me and told me that he has to tell me something and he's proud of his son. There's a lot.
I'm getting chills.
A lot. And right after the situation too, there are some family members and there's some people that have gone and there's messages that come through and we're bang on and nobody would know but me.
Right.
And I know that if I were to go, maybe I would find I wouldn't say closure because I know whatever God has sent to me is of him and that comes from him and that's enough. But just recently I was watching this like documentary on Netflix and it was called Life After Death. And I was really, right now, a year ago from today.
I watched that.
You know, and a year ago I was so consumed with how it happened.
Yeah.
How, who, what, like, you know, I just want to know how. But now it's like, now that he's dead, when he died, what did he experience? Is he looking over, you know, like, is he looking over us?
Right.
Is he resting? Do you know what I mean? My daughter says daddy a lot. Are you really playing with her?
That's so
Do you know what
crazy.
I mean? Like there's a lot of things like that, but I've yet to do that.
It's your religious belief that is preventing you from talking to a medium. Do you have any inkling to try to do it or want to do it?
Oh my
because,
gosh.
like clearly he's trying to communicate with you and it might not have anything to do with your religious beliefs.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't think I will ever do it because I know doing stuff like that will open doors that I don't need to open.
Oh, true.
I don't need to do that. I don't need to because right now the enemy is rampant in this world and whatever he can do, like, you know, to get in, he'll try.
You're right.
And I'm good. I'll pray. Right. I say Psalms 91 every day and I cover my children.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you have any dreams with him?
In the very beginning, I did.
Yeah.
The very beginning I did. They've subsided and I haven't dreamt him. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'll cry out when it was 5 months past, I broke down, I fell on my knees and I'm like, Littles, just give me a sign. I will share this and I'll get personal. He had a bottle of cologne, Versace blue jeans. It was his thing. I made sure I took that and I held it like hostage. Like it was half bottle full. It was on our bathroom counter and it's on my bathroom counter right now. I keep that with me. And from like on big things and big occasions, I spray the kids. I say, do you want to smell what daddy smell like? Romeo's first day of school. Cute. And the other day I sprayed Dior and I'm like, do you want to smell daddy? Right? And she's like, yeah. And we sprayed it and we both smelt it together. And that mixed with Henny and like, you know, and like whatever like that. I just got the vibe.
Right.
And when somebody randomly that I didn't know reached out to me on Instagram with no followers, no nothing. Her name was Lowkey 101. And she said, I'm a spiritual medium. I don't know what to call myself, but I have some kind of connection. And he just wants me to let you know he's proud of you. And he knows you can feel him and smell him at times. I was driving and almost crashed. I knew that was so legit because it was like literally a week ago. Like he knows you can smell him. I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's insane.
And I'm like, yeah, Littles. I'm like, all right. Because he knows, like, he was so, like, he could do anything he wanted here and he's still doing it.
Exactly. So his spirit is just actually so chilling.
Yeah. I have to share that because that is like so powerful, so pronounced. And it made me feel so good to know that he's watching me and he's with me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I completely respect and understand why you don't want to do the medium route, but it's crazy that he's coming forward with any little things anyways. Like I don't know of any medium that reaches out to people and starts saying certain things.
It's happened so much. Yeah,
it's
happened so much.
It's not like you were at their office or at their place of work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's actually amazing. So hopefully he is. His presence is here now,
Yeah.
and he knows that we're doing this to talk about his legacy and to make sure that his legacy stays strong, and that we all remember him for who he was and what he contributed to the industry and to the world. Not even just the industry, like as a father, because
Yes.
I used to see all your posts. This is prior to you having the kids.
Yes.
It was so entertaining to see your relationship and your dynamic. Very funny. Okay, let's talk about that one. I think you were the camel.
You know what? And I'm so happy that you brought that up, because that video is on his phone and we can't get it right now. And like, I know. And his Facebook got deleted. It was Facebook, and his Facebook got deleted.
By how?
I don't know. One day we went and the page was gone. Like, right. It was probably a couple days after he passed, and it was gone. Like, someone memorialized it and it's gone. And I've been trying to reach out.
That video is probably one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So Chanel was emulating a camel in a commercial.
Yeah. Hump day. What day is it?
Yeah. It was so funny. And I love that video. And I love to see your dynamic and how fun you guys were together. And just the relationship that you guys had. And then going on to having a family. I knew that it would work out perfectly because of the fact that you guys were best friends, and you guys just had this perfect bond and relationship to raise kids. Mm-hmm. So that's actually unfortunate that you don't have the video, but
I know.
It's
gosh,
crazy.
That's crazy that you said, because everyone says that.
Yeah.
That video. Yeah.
So seeing how you guys raised the kids, the fun that you would have, and it was very public. It was very public, but in a good way, because you shared your love, you shared your happiness, and sometimes that needs to be shared because other people can see it and just find joy in it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's actually what I did. Right. Yeah. It's strange, but I always looked at like little Romeo, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so proud, so happy. So for me, everything came to like as a real shock to see such a happy home to a very distraught one. So it does.
But
break
one
me
thing I
in a
can
sense.
say though, when I bring myself down and I think about it, and I just really just peel the layers back, and I say, why me?
Right.
Why me? But I could look at you right now, Kat, with conviction and tell you, I know why me.
Yeah.
I know why me. I know what I have to do.
Yeah. So,
and I know God chose me, and I hate to say this, I'm humbly saying it with the most respect. Sometimes these things happen, like, you know what I mean? And I know what I have to do, and I'm here right now speaking.
Yeah.
He's given me this confidence and this strength to do this. Exactly. And I'm not trying to inspire, but if I can make an impact, if one person can hear my story and feel just inspired or feel strengthened, or because I can't motivate you. You got to do that for yourself.
Exactly.
You know, if it's going to take that one bit, and I'm glad, I'm good.
Exactly.
You know, that my job's done. I'm planting my seed.
So you feel that your purpose was to turn your pain into a purpose.
Oh yeah. My test into a testimony. Like what, like I don't know. I just, it's a lot. It's heavy.
Yeah.
But it's my life and it's my story.
And so would you say that you are healed, or do you think you'll never be fully healed?
I feel like that's a part of me. Right now, like I said before, I'm in survival mode. I'm just going and I'm keeping myself busy. I have never had a chance to chill. And anyone that knows me, everyone can see on the outside, I've never chilled.
Yeah.
I can't be still.
Right.
Because then I think.
Exactly.
And then I'm like, why? Like, how? And like, someone as strong and big as Little's, like, he can't not be here right now. He did not deserve this.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form, he did not. And everybody out there knows it.
Right.
They know it.
For sure.
And I'll change my tone because it's just, it is what it is. And we're going to have to accept it. But doesn't mean it's always right.
Exactly. So when you're down, so when you have those moments, because I know that obviously you try to keep going, but you're going to have those moments. Do you listen to sad songs? Because some people do that, but then it makes it worse, right? Or do you prefer to bring your energy up and listen to fun music? Because from what I know, people, when they're down, they'll listen to the most sad, heartbreaking songs.
I know what you mean. I feel like maybe in the beginning, little things like that, there was, I can't even remember, somebody sent me this link, but it was called, it was kind of like, it was something about like a great father. It was a song like that, and I would always play it, and it would just be like, when you wake up and the sun's shining and I'm not there, just know that like Daddy was a good man. I think it's Indy Irie, Good Man. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, and I would play that. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird you said that, but I kind of relate. And I would play that like driving the kids to school after I dropped them off, and I would be like, oh my gosh, wow. Because it's so real, and it just like kind of just told my story in a song. But I would play that just to hear it and feel it, and I would have my car cries and my shower cries.
Yeah.
But I don't do that anymore.
So that probably adds to the strength.
Yeah.
That you, because I mean, I know that women and people, like mostly everybody in general, they tend to listen to a very, very low and heartbreaking song. But the fact that you don't do that, and I see you just going and going and pushing, like that definitely is, it helps for sure.
It does. I don't give myself
why bring yourself more down, right?
Yeah.
So is that something you would tell people, like listeners, people who are listening right now, who I'm sure turn to the sad music when they're feeling down? Would you advise them to not do that?
I feel like in the moment, whatever you feel you need to do is the right thing. Is the right thing, because you know you just have to make sure you always evolve and you don't stay where you're at.
Right.
That's the biggest thing for me. You can fold.
Yeah.
You can crumble. You can break.
But it's good to let that out, because you said that you cry in the car and
in the shower. Oh yeah.
And those are, you need to have that release, right?
You do, but just don't stay there.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't do that. We don't. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because then that will lead to depression. That will lead to a long-term depression. And I'm pretty sure that, I mean, people, even with the smallest things that they're going through, they could really fall into that deep hole and not find that strength. So it's crazy because, like you've just been able to move on after crying. Like you release and then you keep going.
And I'm not going to lie, like just probably maybe 3 weeks ago, I had a week of tears every day. It comes and goes. That's with grieving, right? Yeah. It comes and goes. So,
and a question that I wanted to ask you with your highs and lows is, when you're down, you obviously turn to God. I was going to ask you, do you turn to God?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just pray. It's a prayer.
Yeah, it's a prayer. I'll just pray.
You listen to gospel?
I do. So the kids know too. The kids know in the car that I have the satellite radio, Sirius XM. They know it's on channel 64. Like We Live to Franklin's Praise. Like we're listening to that. Like always. Roma's like, Mommy, when I listen to God music, sometimes it makes me feel like I want to cry. I said, because that's the Holy Spirit, and he likes it. And we do. It does help us, and it gives me a lot of strength.
Right.
It does. It really, that's my solid ground.
I love that. I actually have a playlist that I listen to every morning.
Nice.
I made it myself. It's called Thank You, Lord.
Nice.
And I have some, it's R&B gospel.
Oh, send me it.
So it has a twist, it's like Faith and Blackstreet, and, Mary J. Blige and TLC and that type of stuff, and Destiny's Child. But I always have to listen to that first thing in the morning, because sometimes you forget to thank God once you wake up.
Yes.
Your first thing to do is either get up and go on your phone and check your messages or whatever, or, certain things you might forget. So even at the times where I forget, I go and I walk my dog and I listen to the playlist. If I forgot to thank God as soon as I woke up, right?
Yes.
So I love the fact that you definitely turn to God to find that strength and give you that strength and guidance. Because I believe that that's truly where it should come from, right? It's amazing. So you grew up very religious.
I would say,
or more with faith.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. My mom was always in church and stuff like that. And
so how hard is the idea of moving on in terms of being with another partner?
Oh, wow. I feel like I haven't really crossed that road yet. Mm-hmm. The whole concept and idea of just the way he's so connected with me too. Yeah. I just kind of feel like I'm not ready for that, because Littles was very yo, you're my woman. Yeah. So I don't even know what to even say about that.
The idea of it, because it's how do you replace him. You can't.
You
can never
can't.
replace
That's the
him,
thing. Like
right?
I know that, and I'm very, very protective over my children.
Yeah.
And no one will ever be their father. They will never call anyone dad. I'm like so big on that.
Course, yeah.
So big on that. And I'm so scared. And I walk on eggshells because my daughter won't know as much because she was 8 months when he passed.
Mm-hmm.
But Romeo was his dad's best friend. Like, you know, and Romeo is the man of the house. Anytime Little's left to go anywhere, he'd say, Romeo, you know, they're the man of the house, right? When daddy leaves, you know, you're the man of the house. So that's been imprinted. But I want him to understand he's still a little boy. Mm-hmm. You're a 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You're still a little boy. You can live your life. But yeah. Oh yeah. He takes care of Dior. Like he feels like, mommy, where are you going? Like, you know, it's one of those.
It's so crazy that you say that. So it was almost like he was trying to leave that imprint from before.
There were so many things that he's done that he didn't even probably realize that built me up.
Wow.
Built me up. Mm-hmm. Like one time he looked at me and he said, Chanel, you don't get, like one day I had a hard day and I was tired and I'm like, I do this, I do that. I'm like, it's basically like 3 kids and I'm doing all this. And he's like, you don't get credit for being a mom. You don't get credit for me. You want a brownie, you want a cookie for being a mom. Like that's Little's, you know? And I'm like, and at that time, I'm like, I wanted that recognition. I wanted that praise. But little did we know, I was not going to have anyone to pat me on the back and say, good job. No one's going to watch what I do day in, day out.
Right.
I had to do this on my own no matter what.
Exactly.
So you built me up. You made me strong.
Right.
And he didn't even know. I didn't even know. But guess what? I'm strong now because of that.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. And leading up towards that, other than when you felt a little bit weird that he wasn't going to make the baptism, leading up towards his death, did he ever talk about any nightmares or any feelings that, you know, something might be wrong?
You know what? Littles was always very keen, always aware of his surroundings. He was always very certain that nothing negative or adverse would ever happen. He was always like, babe, like we're good all the time. So I would never know because he never put that on me. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I would never have any idea.
Yeah.
So
because I've always had this question before people die, if they ever have a feeling. Whether, you know, because I lost my dad really young,
okay,
right?
I'm so sorry.
I was 21 when he passed away, and it was from a heart attack. It was definitely, he was sick, but we didn't expect it, right? So the day that he, the night before he died, he went and got groceries, like just went all out and got all this food and was almost like he set us up to prepare us and just fill up the fridge and do all this. And then he was actually, it was his time, right? So I always feel like, were they getting some sort of inkling?
One thing I can say is he's never done this before, and he did it the day of. He went to Walmart and he called me and he's like, Chanel, how do you print pictures on this thing, on those little kiosks?
Yeah.
I'm like, what? You're doing what? He's like, how do you do it? And I told him, and he came home with like over 300 pictures printed off at Walmart. Wow. And he's like, I think you need to put like more like relevant pictures up on the walls and stuff. I think you need to do that. And I'm like, what?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
all these pictures.
Right
and he printed ones of me and him at Romeo's baptism, like when I was like 300 pounds, like cake, I'm boosting, but 200 pounds eating cake. And I'm like, you printed that? Like you care about that photo? Like, you know, he's like, yeah, we should put it up. And it was weird. So yeah,
so
I'm not gonna lie. That was the day.
The day. So
the day
of,
in the evening, and the night. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the sign, right? Because that's random.
It is very not in his character whatsoever. Yeah.
So okay, that definitely changes my perspective, or it confirms my suspicion whether they have a feeling or not.
And then I had a random girl message me saying she had a dream, and she's like, "You need to put pictures up." Some girl that like I knew, like a mutual friend, she's like, I just had a dream of like your baby father, and she's like, he keeps like saying you need to put pictures up.
This is before?
After. Some random girl after said she had a dream.
Shut up.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because you do say that his spirit was very strong on earth. So of course, afterwards,
whatever he's got to do, Littles is gonna figure it out. I'm saying that.
He's trying to get through to you.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Whether you want to see a medium or not, he's like, I'm gonna get someone to DM her and message her.
Yeah,
and that's actually so beautiful. The fact that he tried to get you. Did you ever put those pictures up?
I did. And one other thing too, I just remembered the day that he actually passed, when everything happened and I was in the house and the detectives and everyone was around me, it was very chaotic. I went on his Instagram right away. Yes. I went on his Instagram, I went on his story to see the last things. And it was crazy because he took a video of him driving home, and you could see it was like fog into light, and he put 4 prayer hands up. And you know your man, you know your spouse, you know whatever, you know what emojis they use. You know what I mean? Like, you know, and he's never used the prayer hand. He never had a reason to use the prayer hand in his life. Wow. And he did that. So I have that screenshotted. And that was like, I went back and I looked. I tried to screenshot every single thing that was on his story. Mm-hmm. I know that sounds crazy that I did that in the moment, but
no, it's not. It's not.
I would never got that back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? After that was gone after 24 hours.
You're going to need to hold on to that for sure.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that him attending the baptism and going to church for the first time after you always told him to go, I think that definitely it was supposed to happen and it needed to happen because of what was going to happen.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, for sure.
And that's so deep. Just the thought of it. Just the thought of it. Oh my God. So I don't know if you mind, but just bring us back to the exact moment. You're saying the detectives were coming in. Mm-hmm. Were you at a disbelief? Was he pronounced dead right on the spot?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was. Yeah.
So you were at that point, you were just in shock. Right?
I was in shock. Yeah.
And you couldn't really figure it out. Because you thought you were going to fix it.
Yes. That's what I kept saying. I kept saying, I'm going to fix this. I'm going to fix it. I thought that he was going to pull up and he was going to be in the car and then it was going to be a hanging out the car kind of thing. And then we're going to have to do whatever. And I'm trained in first aid and CPR. So I was going to fix this. And I had my 8-month-old daughter sitting on the grass. And my mom's sick, remember, at the time, but she bossed up in that moment. I don't know what came into her. And she's like, you need to get back in the house right now because we don't know if they're still here. We don't know who did this. We don't know where it came from, right? Get back in. And I was like, you're right. So I picked my daughter up. And a lot of time after that, I was scared. I would go to doctors and bring her. And I'm like, do you think she's going to remember that she's seen her dad? Or, you know what I mean? Just little things like that. And she was so young. And my son stayed asleep the entire time. We had City TV, City Pulse, SWAT. There were dogs. And I thought we lived in Georgetown. So that stuff doesn't happen in a rural area like that,
was the news. Yep.
Yeah.
That was all over the news.
Yeah. So crazy night.
You know what's crazy? Because while Romeo was asleep, maybe he was with him.
You know what? It's crazy that you said because 100% I know that's what happened.
Yeah.
I know that's what happened because Romeo could hear me open a chip bag downstairs and be like, we're having chips, from far away. So all that was going on, and he didn't wake up at all until we had to pick him up after we got searched, interrogated. All my friends were there. They come help me, my friends and family, and we picked him up and we had to go through the back doors and say, we're going for a secret, a special Halloween sleepover party at your auntie's house because my cousin had to come. And I breastfed my daughter and the police said she couldn't come with me. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. Like that happened, but I'm gracious that,
Oh my God. I just want to say, because the other thing too is you mentioned Halloween.
Yeah.
You guys were so perfect every Halloween. Like you would dress up all as a family and get together. And he died in October, right? So it was just before Halloween. How did that Halloween feel?
First thing I want to say is that year we were going to all be the Simpsons. Me, Marge, he was going to be Homer.
Don't tell me you had your costumes already.
We were ready.
Shit.
Dior was going to be Maggie, and then Trinity was going to be Lisa, and Roma was going to be Bart. And we were ready. And every year, I'm not dressing up, but every year he was something. He was a vampire Dracula, he was Spider-Man the next year, and he was going to be Homer with Duff Deer. Wow. He was ready, So
that's actually something that I loved about your family dynamic. It's like, Fabulous and his family, they always get together.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's where I got it from. Yeah. So it would have been perfect, but.
So how did that?
So that Halloween was raining. Mm-hmm. I remember I went to my cousin's house. I have a very, I'm half Italian Jamaican. My Jamaican side, very, very strong. I just want to say right now, shout out to all my aunties and my cousins because they are my rocks.
Yeah.
And they've been there. And my one cousin is my mentor, my spiritual everything. So she kind of, I went trick-or-treating with the kids, and we were all just, it was a very hollow day. I can't even explain to you how I felt. I was so empty.
Yeah.
It was cold. It was raining. My son dressed up as Woody. And like, I took a picture of him in the morning of when he had to go to school that day, dressed up in his costume, and just the way he looked, because I broke the news to him the day before on the 30th. Mm-hmm. And Halloween and Daddy were like the best things.
Exactly.
Because Ryan would be like, we're going to every house. We're not done yet.
Yeah.
You know, we're not done. We're going to every house. And Romeo just loved it. And Dad was always that one, you know? So it was very hard. I'm glad, like, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up too, because that was a very hard day. It was cold. It was hot. Just the way the weather was. It was crazy, because like I was walking with my friends and I said,
so fresh.
That's,
so
yeah.
fresh.
I'm like, this is how I feel. It was cold. It was wet. It was dark. I shouldn't be feeling like this.
Right.
It's not fair to me. I didn't deserve this. My kids don't deserve this.
Right.
But here we are, right?
Well, I looked at it like that. Why you, just like you were questioning why me as well. Mm-hmm. And I completely agree. You don't deserve it. You didn't deserve it, and your kids didn't deserve it. And it's like, why, right? You can only have those questions. But when you do find the strength inside, like, it's okay. Okay, so it's for other people, right? Is that how you kind of just come to terms with it? Is that you're supposed to be the strength for other people? Because that's still not fair either.
I know, it's not.
Right?
And it's like, we'll never have the right answer. I'll never know why. But I just know what I need to do with it.
Yeah.
Everyone has a sad story.
Right.
Straight the fuck up. Not trying to be, I don't want to say that, but everyone does. Maybe not a sad story, but everyone has a story. Yep. It depends on how you're going to deal with that. Exactly. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Because everyone has it.
Right.
And that's what's going to set me apart from you.
Yeah.
Straight up.
For sure.
What are you going to do?
For sure. Because you could have went down a deep, dark depression, but your kids, like, you have to be strong for your kids. And I love the fact that Littles had you set up. Mm-hmm. At all these little signs and things to build you up until the moment those are all the signs that he knew that it was gonna, internally it was gonna happen.
Yes. One thing I want to say though, and I just want to shed light, it took me 31 years. I'm 31. It took me 31 years to realize and find out that you cannot find happiness outside of yourself. Yep. You cannot. My children don't give me happiness. They give me purpose. Yeah. But you need to be a happy mom first. It took me that long to realize, because after everything happened, I said, I just need to be happy. But guess what? Peace is above everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Absolutely.
Everything.
Wow. I've been getting chills throughout this entire interview. I want to take a quick break, and we're going to kind of like lighten up, not even lighten up, because this whole thing was light. Like it was just so bright. You shine so bright, and it's so incredible to see how somebody can just shine through such a dark situation. But I want to play the song because I recently watched this Biggie documentary on Netflix, which I was going to ask you. You've never watched it.
No.
Because I don't even know what you have time for, if you do have time to watch certain things. But I watched this Biggie thing, and it was recently Biggie's death anniversary, just yesterday.
Yes.
But it's a song, Miss You. So we're going to play this, and we're going to get right back with Chanel Dior after this music break.
All right.
Love that song. Okay, so that was Miss You by Notorious B.I.G. Rest in peace, Big. Rest in peace, Littles, the General. Long live Littles. A very sad and moving song. So that's a sad song, but it's a beautiful song. So that would be something that I would cry to if I was down and in a situation like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, just a beautiful record. So there's certain things that you wanted to touch on too. Let's talk about it.
Bella Mia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, sorry, I thought it was something completely different too. Yeah. We wanted to talk about Bella Mia because that is your business right now. It's your own company. So it's Bella Mia by Chanel.
Yes.
And we want to know the services that you include, and give us information on where your shop is located. Let's do all that promotion.
Okay,
for Bella Mia.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. Bella Mia by Chanel. So I do body contour and sculpting. So laser lipo, ultrasonic cavitation. We do radio frequency skin tightening, booty lifts. As you guys all know, I'm from a health and wellness background. I was a fitness instructor, MILF, way back, but that's coming back every summer. Yeah. So this summer is coming back every weekend on Sundays. So excited for that. But yeah, this is what I'm doing. I'm a medical esthetician first, so I know all about skin. Yeah. I'm partnered with Exfoliate Rejuvenate. It's a really great spa. She owns 3 stores in Toronto, and I work at a 651 the Queensway right
so
now.
You're close to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was I supposed to explain?
Yeah, he's a cub, yeah. But yeah. So right now I'm working at a Halton.
I need some skin tightening. So I definitely want to go and get a facial and all that stuff. Yeah,
you should. And I have a big spring fling event, beauty event, everything beauty. Actually tomorrow, Friday and Saturday in London, Ontario. Because London's an orange region. They're orange. That's what stage you're in right now. And we have cute little face masks that are spa masks that we're going to be safe for following all protocols. Okay. But we're doing $99 microdermabrasion, which is an exfoliation medical grade treatment. And we're also doing brightening peels, so enzymatic peels and maskings. So yeah, I'm super excited for that. Anyone that can come to London, you need to come. Yeah. But it will be good.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing because I said something.
You said facials? I need a facial? Is that what you said? Yeah.
No, because I was like... but yeah, so Kate, awesome. And that's Bella Mia. Tell everybody what your Instagram is.
My Instagram is Chanel Dior. That's my personal page
for the Bella Mia.
And then so my Bella Mia is Bella Mia by Chanel. So Bella Mia by Chanel.
Yeah. Beautiful me.
Yeah, beautiful me.
Has such a profound meaning to it, which is so beautiful.
Yeah.
But okay, so sorry. Did you say where your shop was located?
Yeah, 651 the Queensway. So it's in Toronto. It's in Toronto, but right now I'm working out of Halton because Halton's open. So I have an alternative location. So if you just DM me,
but you don't do any like home services like
I'm working from home right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm working from home right now because I'm open.
Right. So anybody can come to get their services from your home.
Yeah, right now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Yeah. All right, so make sure you guys go check that out. It's amazing that you're able to keep people looking good and feeling good with your services, and you are definitely that person. Like right now, if you see Chanel right now, she's glowing.
Thank you.
Okay, glowing. So let's get into this next segment here.
Pop culture quiz.
All right. It's called Pop Culture Quiz.
Oh my God.
You have 0 seconds to answer. Okay? So here we go. Kim or Kylie?
Okay. Kylie.
Mac or Fenty?
Mac.
Makeup or skincare?
Skincare.
Hip hop or R&B?
R&B.
Rihanna or Beyonce?
Beyonce.
Brandy or Monica?
Monica.
Boys to Men or Jagged Edge?
Boys to Men.
Saweetie or Meg Thee Stallion?
Saweetie.
Tory Lanez or Party Next Door?
Tory Lanez.
Dress up or dress down?
Dress up.
Heels or sneakers?
Heels.
Chanel or Dior?
How do I do that? I don't know. I can't answer that. I won't.
You're going to have to take a shot if you don't answer.
Okay,
I'm taking a shot. 2. She's taking a shot at 1800 silver, y'all. She could not answer that.
I couldn't.
Nike or Puma?
Nike.
TikTok or Snapchat?
Snapchat.
Ferrari or Lamborghini?
Ferrari.
Range Rover or G-Wagon?
A G-Wagon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Low-key life or public life?
Public.
McDonald's or Burger King?
I don't eat meat, but BK.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know that.
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jamaican food or Italian cuisine?
Italian. Yeah.
White liquor or dark liquor?
Dark.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Nestea or Sprite?
Sprite.
What's worse, dirty dishes or dirty laundry?
Dishes.
What piles up more in your house?
Laundry. Laundry.
What's worse, cleaning up your baby's vomit or changing diapers?
Diapers.
A crying baby or a disrespectful child?
Crying baby.
Would you rather vacation in the Caribbean or Europe?
Europe.
$1,000 a day for life or $1 million up front?
$1 million up front.
Win the lottery or get a big contract for your own TV show?
a big contract for my own TV show. Yes.
All right. So that
Pop
was
culture quiz.
that was our fun segment. You actually were the quickest.
Good. Did we get
and we tried to put a little bit of pressure because the last one was the most difficult we've had last week with Jason Johnson.
Yeah.
He was like so detailed with each answer, and it was like, no, we gotta go. So that was good. We know a little bit more about you, a lot more about you, obviously with your story. So what's some advice that you can give some women or anybody, just people in general, that could be facing the same situations you, or just be in a similar situation? What's some advice that you can give them right now?
I would say if you were in the same situation, if something was relative or similar, I'd have to say the only advice I can really give is just keep going. Whatever it is that you have in your life that is positive and that is of a blessing, because you're here, you're living, you're breathing. Joy is not a feeling, it is a decision. We wake up every day and you decide.
Yeah.
You decide.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
So you need to praise God every day and say, thank you that you woke me up and I'm here.
Exactly.
And just pride yourself on that.
Right.
And you'll get to where you need to be. And just lead with love, baby. You need to, because it'll come back tenfold. Always.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that you could write a book?
I want to.
I think
really
you should.
do.
I think you should.
Yeah.
Definitely. I would definitely encourage that. And I would want you back here, even at Manifesto, on a panel.
Yes.
Right? Because I think your story is very powerful, because it's very tragic, but you also are just so strong, and you know you've got the answers. You've got the answers, right? And a lot of people can learn from that, because some people that are, like I said, that are going through much less, or like not even that bad. Like there's situations that are not nearly as bad as what you had to go through, but they can't even get out of bed and can't get through. They can't find themselves, and they're just lost. And some of those situations become even more tragic than we could ever imagine, because it's crazy. Because even what happened in 2020 with obviously the pandemic and things that were going on, there were more suicides than there were
right, because mental
COVID,
health,
the mental health issues. So there were more suicides happening than the death rates at one point. Can you believe that? Like,
it's
so
crazy.
Yeah, so it's crazy, but you are definitely triumphant.
Thank you.
You've turned your trials into triumph for sure, and we are so happy that you were able to share your story with us, because I'm inspired. Right? I'm motivated.
Thank you.
You know, I actually have that state of mind. It's funny that you say certain things about littles, because I have that state of mind. And Giselle will tell you that I'm always on her, like, you need to do this, you do that. I'm very, like, all about just being on your own feet and being, not necessarily being your own boss, but being your own boss.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because some people are not meant to be bosses, you know? Some people don't want to be bosses.
Right.
But I think in a world that we live in today, you should be a boss in any way, form, or capacity, however way you can. You know what I'm saying? So it's very inspiring to see you doing what you're doing, and how how motivated you are about your business and your company and what you got going on too, right? So none of the darkness shines through at all.
No,
right?
I won't let it.
It's completely inspiring, and I hope that everybody that has listened and tuned in today has felt the same way as I have, because I've been getting chills all throughout this interview, especially because I know you and I knew Littles. Right. So it's beautiful to hear more of the personal side of things. But yeah, I am proud of you, and
Thank
I'm
you so much,
excited for you.
yeah.
And I want to see Bella Mia just
I can't wait.
You know,
I know he's so happy and he's with me, and I know that's why.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly. So let's get all of our female listeners to make sure they go check out Bella Mia and get those services done. I know I'm gonna go check it out and get my skin tightened and get a facial and get all that done. So I'm all here for it. And thank you. Is there anything else that you might want to say?
All I just want to say is I know I'm strong, and I know I'm standing on the platform because of God, and I know Littles is with me, and he's giving me this confidence.
Yeah.
And since he's gone, the world has not been the same. I know COVID's happened, so I just so bad I want to pick up a phone and call him and tell him what's going on. Like, so bad, you have no idea. But I know he knows. I know he's with me.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it, but I know he is.
I truly believe it.
Yeah.
Just seeing you today and understanding that, I truly believe it. Yeah. Because for a long time, I questioned, how the hell does she find the strength? Like, what is it, right?
I don't even know. And I can see you're looking, and I don't. Everyone's like, you're so strong, and I don't know. I still feel like I should be doing more. I still feel like I should be doing more. I'm like, yo, what are you doing, bitch? Like, get up. Like, what else are you going to do? What's next? Yeah, that's me. Yeah. So I don't know.
No, I love it. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. Shout out to you and Bella Mia. Yes. Thank you so much for being here on Box Power Sound. And so excited. Let's get you back on the show. Or on a panel. Like, I want to get you on a panel. Yeah. Let's talk. Whatever you want to do. I'm so down. I love it. Yeah. All right, so let's get into this song here. It's Monica featuring the Neptunes and Lil Baby with Trenches.